Gonna check in really quick. I'm honestly feeling super frustrated right now. We just had a meeting. Good morning, friends. Today is Tuesday, September 8th, and today is my first day of virtual teaching. So I actually just got done with my morning chunk, but let me start at the beginning. I did get here like right at 7:25, and we are supposed to be starting our first class at 7:30. Being on time is a life skill that I am working on. So with that said, I did not have anything set up, but I knew how to access all of the online teaching resources, which our school district curriculum department is going to be making all of our online teaching resources that is aligned to, our planning guide, our lesson plans. Some hiccups was that everybody, I guess, in the district was logged into the hub, the online platform. So it was lagging. I had 3 students log in before 8 o'clock, and then they were slowly logging in. So my first literacy chunk on my schedule, I put 8 to 9, but the school does want us to start at 7:30. So we did announcements, and then we started our phonological awareness. So we were counting words in a sentence, and I had the kids write a couple sentences just to see if they were able to leave a space between their words and form their letters, which they were. That's what's very different about this year, is that all of my students did have pre-K versus last year when I had 25 students and like half of my class didn't have pre-K and half of them did. It was definitely like tricky to find a routine that worked for everybody, but I digress. Yes, so we counted words in a sentence, and then we did an alphabet song, and then we did the read aloud, which I was trying to pull up online, but it was not letting me. So I kept apologizing for the kids. They got impatient. I was happy that my 7 kids that did log on, like, they were ready. They had their notebook, they had their pencil. So I complimented them on that. There was just too much background noise. So I muted all of my kids except for that couple of kids that had their headphones, and there was no background noise for them. When we finished our literacy block, I realized I need to set up my document camera, so Miss Mo helped me set up my document camera. From 10:15 to 10:30 was my math block, and that went a little more smoothly. I started my meeting and I called my students back, and they were pretty on time. And so for our math, we sang a number song, and we were just talking about numbers 1 through 10 and counting to 10. This is something that I literally just made on the spot. Like, I had my document camera, like I said, and we were just practicing writing numbers. I wanted to see if they were able to write numbers and then just a very simple sentence. And then we were practicing drawing shapes and counting them. Every 15 minutes or so, I did try to stand up, and we were stretching. We have a 2-hour break, so we'll do our last little session. Our science session will be from 12:45 to 1:15. We'll be talking about what scientists do, and we have a couple videos on Brain Pop Junior. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm feeling really good about my first day so far. Like, I did not expect this many of my kids to log in, but I'm really happy that they were able to. And I actually just helped a parent came on campus, and I helped them figure out how to log in one of my students into the iPad, so they should be joining for the afternoon session. It's not the funnest, but just making it work. I'll check back in with you guys at the end of the day. All right, y'all, it's like 3 o'clock right now. Made it through my first day of virtual teaching. Overall, I'm just really happy that a lot of my kids logged on. So I have 13 students as of now. I have 4 students that haven't been officially dropped. 9 of them were able to log in. So I'm really happy about that. It's still not the ideal teaching situation. Hopefully, as the weeks go on, we can find ways to make it more exciting, more engaging. I just texted parents and I told them, that the kids did a great job. Thank you for logging in. And just as a little reminder, I did ask them to purchase headphones or earphones. I'm happy about the document camera. So the read aloud should be better tomorrow, since they'll actually be able to see it better. On my to-do list tomorrow is I need to make a parent contact log, and I need to make a meeting schedule, because I think it's just better if I do one-on-one sessions with the parents, showing them how to navigate through the hub and how the assignments are supposed to be turned in. And that way I can assess the kids so that I can start my small groups ASAP. So again, just need to be prepared, have everything ready to go on my computer before I start my actual live class. The science portion actually didn't go too great because the kids were not able to hear audio from the videos I was sharing, which a lot of it was videos. We were talking about what a scientist does. So it's just hard. It's hard to actually get the kids to participate, but again, it's first day. At least they logged on. After I finished that last live session, I honestly, like I had said before, like I wanted to work on my little instructional board, which is not a big deal, but that's just something I wanted to do. So I made this little banner last night. Just wanted some cute colors and fonts. So I just need to actually print my objectives. And I usually just do that like on regular printer paper. And I just slide it in for my weekly objectives, and I could just take them down. That's the easiest way for me to keep up with that. And same thing, like if I actually had a bulletin board outside, this is what I do as well, is I laminate cardstock or just whatever kind of paper. I laminate it and I put the paper clips in, so when it's time to switch out student work, I could just pull it off and on. That is what works really great for me. But yeah, so sad to be in an empty classroom, and this is my little setup. So I've been putting my laptop on top of the Sanford Harmony just so it doesn't hurt my neck. I think my neck hurts sometimes from staring down, so I just need to elevate my laptop a little more. But yeah, that's my document camera. I opened this up because I had my laminating machine in there, and the laminating machine and the printer were provided by the school last year, which is really awesome, and I still have ink in there. I'm about to go home and we are gonna go get barbecue today. Yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow, day 2. Good morning, y'all. It's Tuesday now, and I just finished my morning block, so that was literacy and math. For today, I did make sure to download all of the online teaching material. I did that at home and left all the tabs open before, coming to school this morning. Just had to open up my laptop and everything was ready, and just hook up my document camera. So I made sure to also have colored pencils and a marker, dry erase marker. I have a whiteboard, a notebook, pencil. That's all the materials I used this morning. Yep, just made sure that I had all my materials ready basically this morning, so it went a lot smoother. We reread the book Jabari Jumps, and the focus for today was characters and settings, so we went ahead and drew who the characters were and what the setting was. We did counting sentences again for phonological awareness. Again, I still think an hour and a half for that literacy block is too long. I like the math and the science block since it's only half an hour. It definitely goes by a lot quicker. For math, for the week, we are just focusing on counting and writing numbers 1 through 10. I start off with the calendar, and we do our number of the day based on the calendar. So for today, it was number 9. And let me show you what I printed. This is, I used to do number of the day last year, in a big poster with my kids as our little warm-up, but I also have these. So I have like numbers 1 through 10, and again, since our number today was 9, we went ahead and did this together, and I showed it on my document camera. So we traced it, counted it, I introduced them to the 10 frame, tally marks, we drew triangles, and then we practiced writing our numbers 1 through 10. And then I had some manipulatives here, which are just Unifix cubes. Show some blocks here. I would tell them to count by themselves and to show me with their fingers on the camera how many they counted. So I think for today, I figured out what my math routine will be. I liked, the calendar, number of the day, and then just practicing writing our numbers and just practicing counting. Something else that I did during my literacy break though, and I'm just pacing around the room as I'm filming this because sitting down is not fun. But I went ahead and after my literacy block, I went ahead and made this parent conference schedule. I had shared my daily virtual schedule, I believe, but if you did not get a chance to look at it, Again, originally I just wanted an hour for our literacy block, but they were making us start at 7:30 and then half an hour for math and half an hour for science. So as of now, we're not doing small groups. I want to assess them. So we have all of that free time. And so I went ahead and made a schedule like in about 30-minute blocks for the day. And I'm gonna start calling parents and start scheduling just conferences, I guess, anything that they need help on. I need to make sure that they're signed up for Class Dojo, and I need to print out my paper assessment so that I can very quickly assess the students when they come with their parents, and that way I can start grouping my students and seeing what type of work they need, because I do prefer for them to write out their work. So I'm going to be printing off packets based on, what skills they need to work on. And that is what I prefer for them to turn in, and they could just do pictures. We're about to have a meeting in about 10 minutes. I think I haven't talked about attendance. Attendance is very unique this year. So my district is taking attendance at 10 a.m. and at 2:30 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. So by 10 a.m. we submit attendance for the students that attended the morning portion, and then again for the afternoon portion. So we're doing attendance twice, but there's still some confusion. So yeah, we're gonna have a meeting in about 10 minutes to clarify attendance questions, I believe. And I think that is all that I wanted to share with you guys for now. So I'll check in at the end of the day perhaps. So it's about to be 3 o'clock already. Finished our science for today. We talked about science safety. Had a really simple activity. We reviewed vocabulary like goggles, aprons, mask, and then we drew a picture of ourselves wearing that equipment and we labeled it. So science went by pretty fast. After I logged off, I started calling parents, and I'm trying to schedule, the meetings. As I mentioned, I've only had a couple actually schedule them. But I did want to add that a couple of my students that didn't log in yesterday were able to log in today. Yay! Out of my 13 students, I just have one student that I know needs Wi-Fi, like a hotspot and a device. And then I have one student that I haven't heard from at all. So those are the only 2 students that haven't logged in at all. The school said we should be getting more iPads, more devices next week. So hopefully it does happen next week. I did have a new student in my classroom, so now I have 14 students, and I don't think I've shared what languages are amongst my students, so I'll just share. I have a student that speaks Amharic Arabic, and I have lots of students that speak Dari, which from what I googled is very similar to Farsi. For those students that told me they speak Dari, I did input them as Farsi, and they are understanding my messages. And I have one student that speaks Bengali and a couple of students that speak Pashto. So all of those languages were available on Talking Points. I'm just sending my group messages through there because it's easier for me. But I think that's it for today. Done with day number 2. I will see you tomorrow for day number 3. Good morning, friends. It is Thursday, and I'm gonna check in really quick. I'm honestly feeling super frustrated right now. We just had a meeting. They sent us meeting invites for today to discuss schedule changes for lower grades. They want us to do all of our live sessions in the morning, kind of like back to back. So we need to adjust our schedule. So we would be done at about 10:30, I believe we would be done. And then the rest of the time, they would still have to log in for their ancillary, and they have their lunch. And then the rest of the afternoon would be small group sessions for us. So I like that we would be done a little sooner. But so now I need to update my schedule. And I had just made a video for parents. I did a screen record video showing them how to log into the correct meeting, because I've been noticing that my students, they'll log in, but they'll be in literacy meeting when it's time for math. So I had just made a video for parents showing them. Remember, this is our schedule, and I aligned the literacy block, like I named the meeting literacy block, and then for math block, I named it math block. I guess I'll just have to delete that, and it would just be like one long meeting that they would log into. I don't know. I was also hopeful that they didn't have to log in at 7:30, but they are still expected to. I had shown you guys these little homework packets. Still trying to get the hang of like giving the kids something to do. So like for today, we did the first page together. That's how we started while we were waiting for kids to log on. So I guess I will be live at 7:30, but I don't expect them to be on time. And while we're waiting for all the friends to log in, they can do like their one page. This will be their morning work now. And then we will play announcements for them, and I guess just nursery rhymes for that first half hour, and we will begin our live session at 8. I will update you guys whenever we get our schedule done. As of now, we're just updating it with those new changes, and the new schedule would go into effect on Monday. So we would let parents know. I'm going to do that after we finish our science, or actually we're doing social studies today at 12:45, so I still have about 20 minutes. So let me get my stuff ready. And I did get one more new student, so I need to contact them. So so for now I'm gonna clean up my space a little bit, pull up my social studies resources, call the parent, and so my 2 new students haven't logged in. So I need to set them up, make sure that they're ready to log in tomorrow. That's all the updates for now. Hey y'all, I made it through my first week of virtual teaching, and it was only 4 days long, but it felt a little longer than that, but we made it. So I'm kind of just sitting here in my car and reflecting on how the week went. My highlights are definitely the fact that 13 out of my 14 kids were able to log on this week. So I really enjoyed seeing all their little faces, and it's just really cute to see all of their personalities. I did have to mute a lot of my students because they have just a lot of background noise going on. So it just sucks that we're not really able to have conversations. So I only left a few students unmuted if I noticed that there wasn't, background noise going on. And I know that on Thursday I was feeling frustrated about the schedule change, but once I actually got the chance to look at it, I modified it a little bit, and yesterday, Friday, I turned it into admin and got an okay with the minor modifications. So for next week, our live session will be from 8 a.m. until 10:15 a.m. So the kids will no longer need to be logging on and off for the sessions like they did this week. So we'll see how that goes. We'll have 4 blocks. Each block will be half an hour. We'll start with literacy, then math, then science and social studies, and then the last block I named English language enrichment, because that last block is there for bilingual teachers. That's their ESL block. So I'm thinking I will just put on like quality educational YouTube videos for my kids. I have found some really fantastic YouTube channels over the years that I really like for my kids. Like, it really helps them understand concepts better and like really build up that academic vocabulary. Definitely have some things on my to-do list. I was really tired yesterday, and so I came home and took a giant nap. I did not finish lesson plan, so for sure need to finish that at some point this weekend. And I have a few more things on my to-do list, but I don't know if I'll get to them. I think just all in all, it was a pretty good week. For next week, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but kind of had to come up with a plan B as far as assessments. I'll be calling parents next week and setting up like one-on-one conferences to assess the students. Oh, so one of my things on my to-do list is I have been using a free kindergarten assessment for the past like 3 years, and I've been wanting to make my own assessment now that I know how to make my own stuff on PowerPoint, to really make an assessment that's tailored for my needs and my students' needs. So I will share that when it's done. Every day has been I tweaked what worked, what didn't work. So I'm still trying to figure out what a good routine is, but I'm definitely loving the document camera. That is a lifesaver, just to be able to display everything and my students being able to see it and working together. That's kind of it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on my first week of virtual teaching. I look forward to next week. Please subscribe and stay safe, and I'll see you guys next week.